If you got scared by this jump scare, well, sorry not sorry, but I had to do it to you. Call me a mischievous ape, but it has become my sole mission to help everyone lose their jump scare virginity. Because this form of online pranking is becoming an extinct breed. So, if you really think about it, I'm doing you a favor. But please, save your thank yous for later, because I am but a humble maiden only trying to help. Screamers or jump scares are basically like a rite of passage on the internet. It is the very thing that turns boys into men. Back in the Unk days, there used to be screamers in every corner, and I don't just mean online, real life too. If you even dare looking away for a shrimp of a second, the scary maze game girl was there. Oh, you're relaxing taking a piss? Guess what? She's there. Being operated by your doctor? Think again. She's the doctor. Essentially, screamers are what kept people on the edge of their seat, curling your cheeks to every video online. Nowadays, people consume whatever they see without fear or a second thought. Call me a sadist, but that needs to change. There are so many videos out there, especially on TikTok, that could prank viewers, but they never do. It's weird because I keep expecting every long, boring video to end with a screamer, but instead, they just lead me on, cock in hand, and there's no payoff. I was robbed of a perfectly good scare, and I won't stand for it anymore. This world needs more chaos in it. Okay, maybe that's not the word, but I just miss when the internet used to anticipate a scare and not immediately take in everything that they saw. Because then, people were a lot more alert. They knew when something was a joke and when it wasn't. Not everything had to be taken so seriously, and that was part of the fun. But today, jump scares feel like something you have to warn people about. Like there's some kind of traumatic trigger instead of just a harmless prank. It's no longer about messing with your friends for a quick laugh. It's treated like a crime. But don't get me wrong, because I can see the nuances where I understand why it can be. Such as if a screamer is either too long or ear-bleeding levels of volume. Because at that point, it's not actually funny anymore. Hurting people isn't the intention of the prank. Everyone knows that the point is to get a funny reaction like in those scary maze game videos where people cry and punch their screen like a Chinese streamer. I believe jump scares can make a comeback, but it has to be done right. A cleverly set up screamer is an art. Do it cheaply and it's just meaningless, borderline bullying, and you ruin it for everyone. It's not like jump scares don't exist anymore, but I think it'd be really funny if newer generations had the same shared experience as we did. But I just don't think that's possible if people aren't setting up the pranks properly. If they're not done right, they don't go mainstream, and ultimately people don't care and bother to trick anyone else. The very essence of the tradition in the first place is to pass it on. And I think Gen Alpha hasn't really been exposed to that side of the internet yet. The thing is, if we went through that trauma, then why am I not allowed to do the same with my little siblings and get a good laugh? After all, it's our turn now to be the pranker and not the target. Gen Z is old enough now to play the annoying young adult sibling role. And goddammit, I'm gonna fulfill it. It only makes sense to get that gratification. If you want to know what I think the lack of popularity comes from this weird sensitivity online. People are probably unsure if it's okay to pull off a prank like this anymore, because fear is an inherently uncomfortable feeling. So you'll end up feeling bad for making someone else feel that way, let alone a literal child. At the same time though, fear can make us stronger. I guess what I'm trying to say is, this new generation is gonna grow up to be a bunch of pussies if we don't hit him with the Teletubbies wooden screamer at least once. Ideally, it's not always a good thing to shelter people from the world. Sometimes it's just okay to let people have an uncomfortable experience and allow yourself to have a good laugh. Because after they stop crying, they'll probably end up thinking that it was funny too. And just like we all did, they'll show their own friends the same video. And the cycle of life will continue. The internet is known to go through trends. Some stay, while others fade into the realm of Cthulhu, which, by the way, some should absolutely just stay there and rot. But every once in a while, something comes back, and I think jump scares can be another. Not just for a nostalgia factor, but because it does serve a purpose if you believe it or not. Hear me out. But I think it's more than just a prank, and can be like a cultural reset. They shaped an entire generation's online experience, which in turn made us a lot more skeptical, and honestly, a lot more funnier. I'm obviously biased, but I just love my generation's humor, and I think screamers played a big role into that. We're literally the least serious generation to date. We'll laugh at almost anything, even if it's just a video of a blurry-ass JPEG and women screaming. The modern internet has become way too boring and predictable. people consume things passively and there's just no longer excitement. So everything ends up feeling too safe. But every now and then, you should be able to get that one video. The one that catches you off guard, and now you're reacting like Markiplier playing FNAF. The rhythm is broken, and then you're reminded that not everything online should be taken at face value. Reintroducing jump scares wouldn't just be about the thrill of getting someone. It's also about reviving a lost element of internet culture. It's a shared experience that can bring us together through both laughter and fear. But let's be honest here. It's actually more about scaring your jit brother as punishment for being an iPad kid. At the end of the day, this isn't that deep, and mainly just a whole lot of yap. This is just my opinion, so if you enjoyed hearing me out, feel free to subscribe for more. I would love to hear what you guys think on the matter as well, so make sure to leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and if you're hungry for more, you can check out this video on why I think your attention span is dog shit. Bye, sisters!
You can do this, girl. You can do this, girl. You can do this, girl.